Hello there, Kevin here with another episode of the Feel Good English Podcast. Hope you're having a beautiful day. Today, I'm going to answer a question because it is Q&A Saturdays, and I received a question from Brian, who is from China. His question is, hello, sir. I am Chinese, and I want to know what kind of content should I use? Should I be listening to them all the time? Thank you. So this question makes a lot of sense to me. And even though I'm not learning a language right now, I totally understand not knowing what content to read, to listen to, because we live in a time nowadays where there is way too much content on the internet. And if you're an English learner, you're going to see so many different options and people's opinions on what to study and programs and courses that cost money and courses that are free. It can be very stressful trying to find the right materials for you. And why this also is stressful for English learners, because you don't see immediate results when you're studying English. If you're reading something new or reading a book, you won't instantly see if it's working, if it's helping you, if you're becoming better, because it takes time. So without being patient, sometimes you think, well, is this even working? Is this right? Am I learning anything here? Or is it a waste of time? Also, you don't have a teacher showing you exactly what to study from. If you go to a school, they'll give you a book and say, this is what you study. I don't think that is a better way. I think that is a boring, forced way to learn, and you don't need somebody always giving you content to study from. What you need to do is become an independent learner. Learn how to learn. You need to take control of your learning. In this episode, I'm going to give you some tips on how you can do that, how you can start simplifying the learning process and using content that can help you get to where you want to get, okay? If you have any questions or want transcripts to podcast episodes, go to feelgoodenglish.com. I'll be waiting for you there. Don't be shy. Come say hello. Let's get into the lesson. So feeling overwhelmed, feeling stressed out with all of the amount of content that we have to study from, and not knowing which is the best, which is going to help us become better at English, better at language, better at business, better at whatever, can be frustrating. The first tip I'm going to give you is set your priorities. Set your priorities on what you want to achieve. So an example here with English, if you wanted to improve your listening skills, if you had trouble understanding native speakers, you can set your priorities to that. That means you're going to do a lot of listening. You're going to listen to content. You're going to be using your ears a lot to learn. And then you'll also read sometimes, but your priority will be listening to content. Now, going deeper with this, setting priorities about listening. So let's connect this with other priorities. What priorities do you have in your life? What goals do you have in your life? Do you want to learn more about business? Do you need to learn about management? Are you a newly elected manager at your company and you need to become better at leading people? So listen to things on that. Setting your priorities on what you want and simplifying and using materials based on those priorities, based on those goals. Ask yourself, is this helping me reach my goals? Is this content that I'm looking at, that I'm reading, that I'm listening to, is it bringing value to my life? Or is it just wasting my time? And of course, sometimes you just want to do something for entertainment value. You want to watch a TV show or watch a movie or something like that. Of course, that's fine. Don't think you always have to be learning about things and always working towards your goals. It's very good to take a break. But in general, most of the time, 80% of the time, use content that's going to help you achieve your goals in life And you'll be more motivated too, because it's something that's going to help you. Second tip here is go on a content diet. So setting your priorities and setting goals and finding material that directly correlates with those goals will require you to go on a content diet, meaning to erase or to delete, get rid of other content that could distract you from that. Some ideas, some examples. You probably have a lot of email newsletters, subscriptions to emails, and they come to your email, which takes a lot of attention from us because it's our own email. Go through them and delete the ones that you don't want, that you don't need right now, that don't align with your goals right now. If and when you need this information in the future, you can always go back and find it, or I believe it will come back into your life anyway. So don't worry about losing it forever. There's so much content we need to restrict what we're looking at on a daily basis. And there's a great tool called unroll.me, which is a very easy to use, free tool that can help you unsubscribe from multiple emails at once. Unroll.me. Check that out. That's a cool free tool that I use to clean out my email maybe once or twice a month. Also, make sure you are dedicating specific time to Facebook. There's nothing more distracting than Facebook. You go there to look at something specific, and then 30 minutes later you realize, holy crap, I just wasted 30 minutes and I didn't even look up what I was going to look up. Facebook is the king of distraction. So make sure you go to Facebook knowing that it's very possible you will get distracted. So save it for a time that it's okay to waste a few minutes. Third tip is feel free to change what you're using every 2 to 4 weeks. You're going to get bored with content sometimes, and you're going to want to try new things. So don't think you have to stick with the same websites, same content forever. Do something for 2 to 4 weeks, and then feel free to change. Try something else. This keeps it fresh, keeps it exciting, but it also gives you enough time to learn from this. With English learning, with learning a language, you can actually benefit from using the same content for a while. This makes the content more comprehensible, which is a term that means you can understand it better. And being able to understand the content better, let's say around 80%, helps you learn a language faster. If it's too difficult, it's harder to learn. And if it's too easy, you won't learn much. So benefits to listening to the same content for a few weeks, a month, and then also benefits to changing it when you get bored and you want to try something new. If you really like something, of course, listen to it longer, a couple months, no problem. Or in the case of my podcast, Feel Good English Podcast, it's so great, you could listen to this for a year, no problem. Just kidding. Fourth tip and last tip is buy something online. Buy a product. Buy a language learning product, a program or a book or an audio series, or even go buy a book in your town, a fiction book or something like that. And why? I'm not trying to sell you something here, but the reason behind this is when we spend money on something, it puts more energy into that product. There's more motivation. There's more connection. You think about it more. And I think the products could even work better. For an example, sometimes there's courses that are $2,000 or $3,000 online. And if you know a little bit about torrents, you can find that course for free. Some people paid $2,000. You paid $0. Not that I've ever done this, but it's possible. When you get the free content, it just kind of becomes one other thing on your computer. It just becomes another piece of information on your computer. Even though you saved $2,000, you don't really give it the same energy. However, if you buy a product for $2,000, believe me, you are going to put all of your energy into that. And even if it's $20 or $30, you also will put more energy into that because you bought it. And this will help you eliminate a lot of the other content and put that energy into the premium content that you have. Of course, if you don't have money, if you don't have a credit card, you don't need to buy something. There's billions of things online that are free, but it might require a little bit more dedication and creativity to find what you want. So the fourth tip of buying a product can help you as well. Some people might say, well, this content is too hard, this content is too easy, and they don't know if it's the right level. First of all, don't worry too much about that. If you're enjoying it and if you're understanding what they're talking about, that's the main point. That's the priority. If you're learning something new, Could be even English words, or maybe you're just learning new things through English. That's fine. Don't worry too much about what level it is. If you want a more specific answer, finding comprehensible input, like I mentioned a few minutes ago, is about finding content where you understand around 80% of what you're listening to or reading. This is a very good place to find something where you understand it enough, like 80%, yet there's 20% of new content for you to learn. So that's it. Just reviewing real quick. Number 1, first tip, set priorities. What priorities do you have in your life? Business priorities, business goals, school priorities, family priorities. Figure out what that is and find content related to that. Second, go on a content diet. Erase all that stuff from your life that you don't need. Clean out your emails. Dedicate Facebook time to only when you need it. And focus on your priorities just from the first tip. Don't worry about all that other stuff. Feel like you're wasting your time? Reevaluate. Is what I'm reading here based on my priorities? Third tip, change the content every 2 to 4 weeks. After you get bored with something, try something else, and then you can come back to that. But don't keep doing something if you're getting bored with it. If you do it for a month and then you're getting tired, change it. If you're doing it for 2 months and you still love it, then you don't need to change. That's not a big deal. But just making sure that you don't get bored with something. Feel free to change what you're doing. And also so you can get another perspective and another type of English and another type of content from something new. Fourth tip, buy a product. Put money into something. This will help you commit to that. We'll put more energy into that product. And we'll just make it more important to you in your life. So spending even a little bit of money, $10, $20, will help you focus on that content so you don't have to worry about the other stuff that might distract you. Okay? Thanks, Brian, for your question. It always takes a little bit of courage to send in a question. However, not only did you get your question answered, but now a lot of people around the world also got this question answered, if they've ever thought this. If you have a question, go to feelgoodenglish.com or email me at kevin@feelgoodenglish.com. I'm here to help you. And until next time, stay positive, stay happy, be grateful every day, and we will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.